Hey guys, it's Katie at scrappinkaty.ctmh.com, and I am playing along with the Christmas card lift with Daisy and Jen during the month of November, where we will take an inspiration Christmas card and recreate. So for week 2 of the Jennifer and Daisy Scraps Christmas card scrap lift, or Christmas card lift, this is the card, the inspiration card. And right off the bat, I'm loving the polka dot pattern, the gold, and then of course just the simple star and then the sentiment at the bottom. And then of course the color. So I've pulled out some of the Deck the Palms cardstock because I'm all about simple and efficient. And I knew that this cardstock had a UV coating on it on one of the patterns. So I'm going to use this lagoon pattern. But there's flamingos, you can see there. There's palm trees, some more palm leaves. We've got some pineapples, isn't that cute? And then the raspberry flamingos. But again, I think I'm going to go with the lagoon polka dot. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and then I am going to just cut this down, and I'm going to be doing a standard size card. So I want 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to use a plain white daisy card base for this card. You definitely could pull in a color cardstock base, but I think that this will do just fine. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to actually add some inking around the edges, much like the inspiration card. So I'm just going to pull out my all-purpose mat just so things don't get messy. And I'm going to pull out my lagoon ink. Of course, everything goes flying. And then one of my sponge daubers. Actually, for this one, I think I'm going to use one of my ink blending tools. Just seems to not make circles around as much. So I'm just going to pick up some ink and then bring that ink not only on the sides, but on the corners, kind of bring it in a little further. And then it'll kind of just disappear into the middle. Okay, I think that that is good enough. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to pull some of my Gilt gloss spray, and this is going to take some shaking up. So you'll see at the bottom, that's where all the little gloss and shimmer is. So I'm going to shake that up off camera. Okay, so I've got that shaken up, and because I want more of a controlled drip, I like to unscrew the lid and then just drip this. And you'll just get drops and bigger drops, little drops. It's a whole lot better than trying to spray. You can also shake it like that. You can turn it to the side. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can apply this depending on what look you're going for. Again, the spray is a little less controlled, so I hardly ever do that. In fact, if you're a follower of mine, you've probably never seen me do that. But I just can't wait to show you this look. And then also you can just pick it up and drop it where you want to drop it. So there's just a whole bunch of different things you can do. I think like I need a bigger one down here and maybe one right there. And the other thing about this gloss spray is it doesn't take long at all to dry, which I love. So let me see if I can show you what we're working with before it even dries. Can you see? Just look. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so let's let that dry just for a second. To aid in that process, I'm just going to pick up some of this with a paper towel. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but as soon as that soaks into the paper towel, it just turns that wonderful gold color that I already showed you on some of the dots. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay. So I'm just going to clean this up right quick. Okay, also while that is drying, I'm lazy. So if I do not have to pull out embossing powder, I will not. So I am just going to find me a star and then color it with this gilt spray. That's one thing I love about wood shapes or anything like that, is it just seems like you can color them with ink and anything. I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see how it works. Maybe a paintbrush. Yeah, you definitely can see more of that gold by using the paintbrush. And then let's see if we can sop it up with my paper towel. Absolutely. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's almost like just instant shine once you take the bulk of that other stuff away. Oh, and we got to close this. On a video last month, I had one of these open and I actually tipped it and it spilt all over my desk. That was not good. Okay, so this just requires a little bit more drying, and I'm not sure, but I have not paused this at all. Look at that gold. And I'm loving the depth. I'm loving the gold and that UV pattern. Okay, so let's bring out my card base. Let's do a test. And that, my friends, is dry. So I have not paused this. I have not dried that by other means, nothing. And it's already dry. So that's what I mean about I'm loving this. Okay, so let's get some tape adhesive and adhere that down. I decided to apply adhesive to my card base instead of my front panel, just because this is usually where I mess things up royally. It's by trying to do too much. So even though that is not coming off, you see me just touching all on that. I don't want to tempt fate here. Okay, and then we are going to just use liquid adhesive to glue this little booger on. You could also use like glue dots, but you do need a strong adhesive. And I want that to go there. And let me clean up the glue. This glue dries clear, so this might not even be necessary, but I don't want to take any chances of having a cute card and then glue being able to be seen. Okay. Now, as far as our sentiment at the bottom, okay, so I think I'm going to use this slim alphabet. And again, I want that gold, so I'm going to go back to the paintbrush method. And I'm just going to paint on this white cardstock. And that way I can just thin cut once this dries. I can thin cut a J and a Y, and hopefully it will match. And the good thing about this alphabet is it is slim, and so, you know, this was just a scratch piece of cardstock that I had laying around, so it's not going to take much to cut that out. And then let me get a paper towel, see if I can aid in the drying. It's looking good, it's looking good. Okay, let's see. It's dry. You can see here that there's not a whole lot of wetness with these sprays either. Otherwise, the back of that cardstock would be soaked through. So I am going to pull the J and the Y. J and the Y. And if you don't know this about me, usually when I'm cutting out letters, I like to space them in a manner which I could come later and use this for another project. So I left a space in between so I could use it on another project and maybe put a star right there. Okay. Cute. So now we can add adhesive to the back of here. You could also use our adhesive sheets. So I'm going to bring this over just a little bit because I want to see that biggest polka dot or whatever that is, paint splatter. And I don't want to really press it down yet until I'm sure of the spacing. Bring out my tubular. Okay. I love it. Never did I imagine it going like this. But look at all the levels of shine on that. Just so, so pretty. And let's finish off the inside with a simple stamped sentiment. So I am going to do Merry and Bright from the Holiday Special stamp set. Just because I think, you know, the stars are just so bright on that card front. So I stamped that sentiment using Lagoon ink, and then again what you do to the outside, I always feel it's necessary to bring those components to the inside. I don't want a whole lot of this on the inside, but I definitely want just a drop or two. So this is where I'm going to do an extreme control drop. You could also get this the same look with sequins or something like that, but since it's the inside of the card, I usually don't like to do sequins on the inside. And then I'm going to get a paper towel, good old trusty paper towel, and try to sop up that liquid. I really hope y'all can see that on camera, how just allowing, watch, let me see, hopefully y'all can see it. Can y'all just see how that just immediately turns to shine once you sop it up? Okay, and that is my card. Again, let's pull out the inspiration piece. And so right off the bat, I drew inspiration from the gold and then the blue color. Of course, I used Lagoon. And then definitely the darker shading around down at the bottom. And then the star. And here is my finished card. So I will leave links down below to all the other girls that are playing along with Jennifer and Daisy Scrap's Christmas card lift. We will be doing this every week during the month of November, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll be alerted the next time I post any video, but much less these. And then I'll also leave links down below to all the products that I used. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I always like to read your comments. And if you liked what you saw, just by hitting that little thumbs up button, it definitely helps me and my channel out. Thanks, girls. Have a wonderful week.